Ostrowski with a special edition of the Liberty Moving podcast. This is members only. She's already a signal interruption. Members only, special edition. Just a couple of random thoughts, nothing important. I probably won't even archive this. But I don't think, I just want to explain kind of like what I'm all about. I probably won't, but so one of the things I try to do is get beyond the level of cliche slogans. I mean, American politics, let's say not American politics, because the people who running everything are very smart. And they know what they're doing, they know what they're saying, they know what they're thinking. But like the sort of grassroots are common, you know, there's no way to describe people, but people who aren't really connected to the system or aren't professional politicians. Their thinking is unfortunately dominated by cliches and slogans. And I remember in writing class in law school, they talked about cliches, and I wasn't quite sure, cliches are bad. I wasn't quite sure why. I'm not sure if I can even now totally explain it, but the way I would look at it is, if you're thinking in slogans and cliches, it's kind of like your brain has reached a dead end. You can't go any further. They kind of sabotage the ability of the mind to keep peeling the onion until you get to the truth. It's like the cliche is like, oh, that's the truth. We need to run government like a business. And then even though that cliche is total nonsense, it shuts your brain down. And you think it's not total nonsense, and you stop thinking. And if you thought further, you would realize that you can't run government like a business. It's absurd. It's stupid. It's an intellectual dead end. It's an error. And that's a cliche. So, just like, I like to say, you can't run government like a business any more than you can run business like a government. So I like to use the example of a restaurant that is running like a government now. So the restaurant would go onto the sidewalk, point a gun at people and say, you're going to eat at our restaurant and you're going to spend $50. And if you don't, I'm going to blow your brains out. So that would be like the restaurant running like a government. So everything I do, and I hopefully get this done. Wow, guys, sprints are super good. A guy doing a sprint next to me. I don't know, I'm too lazy to do sprints, but they're super good for you. So one of the things I've been trying to accomplish in this 50 years of analyzing politics is just to keep peeling the onion and get it down to what as far as I can tell, the truth about politics, government, economics, everything, and then write it up in plain English. And then ultimately, because I know most people in the world don't have the time or inclination or perhaps the money to buy my books, I really want to get everything down to like what I call Dr. Ostrowski's political class, where like every chapter in the book is kind of summarized in one paragraph, and maybe the one paragraph is summarized in one sentence. And I call that like the elevator pitch. So just a couple of examples of what I'm talking about. So the cliche, the common understanding is, I'll give you 3 examples and I'm going to shut up. Guy's doing more sprints. Good for him. So it's commonly understood that one of the government's jobs is to take care of our health. So I come in peeling the onion and peeling the onion and peeling the onion, and I get down to the actual truth of it. And the truth of it is, and I'm writing a book about this, is that government has no competence at all at health. Government is good at, I've said this many times, I'm going to keep saying it until it sinks in or I, live out my natural lifespan. Government's good at seizing territory with men with guns, holding the territory against any competitors, and taxing the shit out of the people in the territory. Can we all agree that government is absolutely fabulous at those three things? We could talk about why, but later. It's irrelevant to my point. We all know that government's good at those three things. Yeah, but we want the government to improve our health. It's like, okay, if I want somebody to fix my sump pump, I usually go out and get a plumber. I don't go out and get a hitman for the mob, because the hitman for the mob doesn't have the competence to fix my plumbing. So my question is, I'm not saying the government's a hitman, not quite exactly, sort of. What competence, what demonstrated competence does the government have in advancing our health? In fact, I'm going to go further. I'm not going to belabor it here. I believe the government is the main threat to your health. I not even believe it. I know it's true. I can prove it. I have proven it, and I will prove it more in the future. Let's talk about poverty. Well, we want we get your point, but there's poor people out there. We need the government. We need a war on poverty. Okay. Well, again, getting beyond the level of cliche, and the whole left wing and progressives, they live in this sort of ideological fog. It's really just emotional therapy. I've explained this many times. I think I'm the first one to really nail this point. If there's others, forgive me, I just haven't read their work. But we need the government to help poor people. It's like, no. Again, what competence does the government have in helping the poor? None. In fact, the government manufactures poor people. The government's manufacturing poor people now by taking 80% of everything you earn and either seizing it directly or destroying it indirectly, or destroying it directly, and manufacturing poor people. We've got 80% of the people in this country are either broke or cash poor or living paycheck to paycheck. 20% are thriving, doing well. Does that have to be that way? No, I think it's absurd. It should be like 90% are doing well and maybe 10% are struggling because of whatever. They can't cut it. They've had tragedies, misfortunes, or whatever, and certainly we as private individuals with a conscience should help those people. Government has no competence at all in solving the problem of poverty, and that's just another example. I'm trying to get people. I don't really care about the headlines of the day. A lot of the people who criticize me on social media, they're obsessed with the headlines of the day. I don't give a flying fuck about the headlines of the day. I'm trying to solve the long-term problem. Look, I got one more point after this. As I told one of my Facebook friends yesterday, I don't give an F about Trump. I was in politics 40 years before Trump was. I've been trying to figure out what's wrong with this country 40 years before Trump was. The guy's a real estate developer. I'm a policy analyst. Who do you think is going to have a better sense of what the hell is the matter with the country? I do. Yeah. Oh, wow. You can't say that. You're just a Polack lawyer from Buffalo. Yeah, I'm fucking saying it because it's true. And I think people who know me know it's true. We've been in a state of decline. The left blames Ronald Reagan. Well, that's inconvenient truth because the country's been declining since the 70s. I was in high school. I puzzled over. I said, what the hell's going on here? Why is this country declining? Why does the city of Buffalo look so shitty as I go on the bus, twice a day to St. Joe's from South Buffalo? That's when I started thinking about all this. That bus ride is why I'm talking to you right now. So I figured this out a long time ago. It's the progressive regime, progressive state of America, and Trump isn't doing a damn thing about it, and that pisses me off. But more than that, again, I'm trying to get to the truth of the matter before I leave this mortal coil. I don't want to have wasted 50 years of my life on something without some sort of a grand summary of everything that I've learned and make that hopefully a public website so that everybody can see the conclusions I've reached in 50 years. So it wasn't all for naught, because I certainly haven't made $1 million. I certainly haven't gotten famous. I'm not on Tucker Carlson every night. The only thing I have really to look forward to is just putting the truth out there for people. So the final point is, again, getting this, beyond the level of cliche, slogan. It's this superficial understanding. It's this shallowness. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I'm peeling the onion, and people are stuck at the level of cliche, superficiality, bullshit. I'm a professional bullshit detector. That's what I do for a living. I've had 13 felony jury trials, and I've won 9 of them because I'm a professional bullshit detector. I know how to figure out the bullshit in the prosecution's case and explain it to 12 strangers I never met in plain English. I didn't try a lot of cases, but check out that winning percentage. And I don't want to belabor that. 13 felony jury trials. I never had any real money behind me. I was always overmatched in resources, and I was up against DAs who do nothing all day but try cases. And I tried 2-3 a year. So believe me, I'm a professional bullshit detector. So, well, we need the government, what is at the end of the day, you strip all the bullshit away. We need government to build roads. Well, we don't, because private sector was building roads before the government was. It's so stupid. It's just a stupid argument. We libertarians joke about, we call them my roads. My roads. They still talk about it on TikTok. My roads, you gotta build the roads. The only real argument, and I've already proven that, I've already made the point that the government's not good at getting rid of poverty. Government's not good at improving our health. It's the main threat to our health. The real core argument for the government, for having any government at all, is that it will, without the government, people will not have a way to justly resolve disputes. By the way, justly is the key point there, because people will always be able to resolve disputes. Yeah, but it won't be just. It'll be violently or some other way that's not just. Okay, so here's the point. Here's what I ask. And not too many people are asking this question, in all honesty, and this is going to be my final book if I live so long. What competence does the government have to produce justice? I actually asked Grok this about a month ago, and Grok admitted no one in human history has actually proven that the government's capable of doing justice. So that's probably the biggest accomplishment I've ever had, is to point that out, and I'm going to flesh that out in my final book. So I hopefully I've just, these random thoughts will explain to people, don't bust my balls over the headline of the day, because I don't really care. I'm looking at all of human history. I'm looking at the future. I'm looking at the next 100 years. Beyond that, you really can't tell anything. AI is going to change a lot of things. Still grappling with that concept. But that's about it. I'm going to keep peeling the onion and get to the truth of the matter. I'm not running for anything. Well, I'm running for chair of the LP. Bad chance I'm going to get that. But I'm not really running for any office that I care if I win or not. There's no man behind the curtain. It's just one guy on the North Buffalo bike path who spent his entire life trying to figure all this stuff out. And I'm damn close.